group of lower income, less politically active people that eventually didn't get popular, didn't get well implemented, and slowly got cut over the years as it went forward.
John Walker, what about the House bill do you think must be preserved in order for the conference bill to be passed?
Well, the first thing is the public option. That is the first check on the insurance companies, having them compete against a public entity that's set up to advance the public good. Another thing that's critical is it uses a national exchange with a national regulating function. Only the federal government has the power, the know-how to really enforce regulation, especially in some states where, frankly, the local state insurance commissioner wouldn't want to enforce the regulation because they're too close to the insurance companies. Another big important thing is the House expands Medicaid up to 150% of the federal poverty line as opposed to 130%. Expanding coverage using public programs costs about 30 to 40% less than using private insurance companies. This bill will direct about $1 trillion to the private insurance companies, and for literally $300 billion less, we could add the same level of coverage to people by using a Medicare or Medicaid-like program to expand coverage.
Do you think if the bill is killed, John Walker, that it will do irreparable harm to the whole health care reform movement?
I don't think that they will ever let health care reform stop, and I think it's a ridiculous myth that they need to pass this bill that requires these 60 votes in the Senate. If you look at how Bill Frisk ran the Senate only a few years ago, he never seemed to allow 60 votes stop him from doing anything. He threatened to use the nuclear option. He used reconciliation in creative ways. He did all sorts of things. He took away committee chairs, or threatened to, of his members. So I don't believe the Senate, this is the best they can do. I think this is the best they were willing to try to do, but I think if they were pushed, they can do dramatically better.
We're going to come back to this discussion. We're talking with John Walker of Fire Dog Lake and Wendell Potter with the Center for Media and Democracy. We're talking about the split in the progressive community, whether it's worth killing the bill to save it. This is Democracy Now! We'll be back in a minute. The song National Health by the Kinks here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The whole debate in the progressive community around health care reform, whether to kill the bill. John Walker's with us, policy analyst, Fire Dog Lake. Wendell Potter, senior fellow on health care for the Center for Media and Democracy. Wendell Potter, though you say you share the criticisms of John Walker, you say at all costs there must be a bill on President Obama's desk. Why?
Well, because we gamble too much by saying kill the bill. John is right. It's not good that the Senate has allowed the filibuster to really be the most important rule that they have. I think we need to change that. In fact, I think one of the things that progressives need to focus on very quickly after this debate moves to its next phase is to focus on how we can change Congress. That's very important. We will never be able to achieve the progressive changes we all know need to be made until we can fix certain fundamental things about our system, not just the healthcare system. We need to address campaign finance reform and lobbying reform, and we need to force the Senate to look at its own rules. But the reality is that's what happened. And my concern is that in the midterm elections that are coming up, The Senate may not even have a 60-vote caucus. There may be less, and I don't know when the day might come when we will have 60 members of the Democratic caucus. I suspect that the House will probably lose some Democratic members. If we look at history, the party in power typically loses seats during the midterms. So what will we do then? When can we look to see the next time the stars supposedly will be aligned? I'm just too concerned that it will be many, many, many years before that happens again. And we very possibly could have a change in the leadership of Congress and even the White House, as we saw after the last time we did this failed, when the Clintons tried and failed to achieve health care reform.
John Walker, what about
more than 15 years now.
What about this being in a very rare moment, even within the Obama administration and a Democratic majority having the 60?
Well, I don't believe that they will let nothing pass this time around. And I think if the progressives in the House hold firm to their commitment to the public option, either they will make this a better bill because they can't get it passed with the progressives, or they'll strong-arm members of the Senate or even use reconciliation to pass a better bill.
Explain what you mean by reconciliation.
There's a budget procedure called reconciliation that allows you to pass a bill with a simple majority in the Senate because it can't be filibustered. Now, there are some problems with it. Certain things which don't affect the budget can be removed if 60 members don't vote to waive what's known as the Byrd Rule. But you can pass a bunch of great stuff: Medicaid expansion, public option, Medicare buy-in, a bunch of great things